Hey, hi everybody. Well, no one else is in the room yet, so hi me. Let's see who else pops in. The stream's looking a little glitchy today, kind of jumpy. Let's see if some sage will fix that. Ignition, benissimo alla fine. Yeah. Let's see who jumps in this room, shall we? La 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 la. I'm going to get started in a few minutes anyway, but it's always good to give people a minute. I put out messages on Facebook, etc. I've got my pentacle stone here, if you can see that. You know, I used to be in the crystal store business 10,000 years ago, 10 billion years ago, while the quartz was still cooling in the crust of the planet. Let's see who pops in. I've already said my prayers. I got a real clear message today to talk about the grace of healing and protection. It seems a little timely. Of course, the guides know what's going on. But also wanted to talk a little bit about divine timing and the divine plan and the quantum field and stuff like that. So though we're going to certainly be engaging in some spiritual practice today, we're going to go a little bit deeper into theory as well as practice. So we're going to see who else jumps into the room. Please feel free to chat away as we go. I will try and keep my eyes on the chat box, whatever that's called, on the side of the screen here. Otherwise, I am going to probably start with an opening prayer in a little bit, as I usually do. If you are new to my channel or new to me in general, prayer is a great, big, huge part of my life, has been ever since I was a little kid. You know, I learned the standard prayers, you know, as a Catholic. Growing up, Our Father, Hail Mary, Glory Be. I said the rosary, all that stuff. And though I am no longer Christian Catholic, I am a witch, an eclectic witch. Which, by the way, an eclectic witch means I can study anything and use anything. I see the gods as the divine singularity. It doesn't matter what lens you view the light through. It's all the same light. Love and light, right? And if anybody's noticing, does this seem glitchy? It seems a little jumpy, the stream today. It wasn't last night, so let me know if it glitches or if it gets jumpy as we go along. Cool? Cool. All right, I'm going to do our opening prayer then. Anybody who jumps in later, jumps in later. So let's do this. Nice deep breath. I call upon my collective pantheons of guides, masters, teachers, gods, goddesses, saints, angels, totems, healers, and ancestors to gather around me and anyone who will watch this live or later, encircling us in a force field of light, containing and protecting the work that we share together today. I ask that all information and energy that exchanges between us does so clearly, cleanly, and for the highest good of all concerned. For we are here only to be truly helpful to ourselves, to each other, and to all of life. Oh, it feels so good. We're here only to be truly helpful, for we were sent by those who sent us, right? We are here to represent those who sent us, our divine source. So we don't have to worry about what to say or what to do, because they who sent us are directing us. And we are content to go wherever they wish, knowing that they go along with us and that we will be healed as we are taught to heal. Please show us the divine, what you would have us do in this time spent together, where you would have us go in this conversation, what you would have us say in prayer and meditation, and to whom you would have us say it within ourselves in this outside world, for the well-being of all. What more could we ask? Thank you, my pantheons. Thank you so much for resolving everything that's going on in this world in its own time and place. Thank you. It is such an honor to be in your presence and to be one with you. Thank you, my beloved pantheons of the divine. Thank you. And so it is. Yeah, I noticed the stream's a little jumpy. A little jumpy. It's not me, though. I'm not moving. So I entitled this something about the grace of healing and the grace of protection. And I think that's obvious. Again, just so that people know, you know, YouTube has this, I wouldn't call it a restriction. I would call it a guideline, a rule, not to say the word of what this pandemic is called. I think that they're flagging stuff, which I don't mind that. I get it. They're trying to control people putting scary stuff out there, right? Putting people into panic, fake news, you know, that kind of stuff. So I'm fine with that. I respect that highly. Although being censored kind of sucks. In this case, I think it's fine because this too shall pass. But certainly there's no restriction on me doing what I do best, which as a Virgo, 4 planets, 2nd house, and all of that, helping with what I have learned. And I'm very, hi Michael, and I'm very, very honored to do that. I just call it 19. Oh, I get now what that means. You said that last night. I was like, what? Like I got that song from the 80s, 19. No, 19. I was like, what? You know, I was born blonde. No, you see that there, that jiggle, that's me on the table. So this is an old table. I love this round table. It's my round table. But anyway, I wrote this book called Words of Grace. I talked about it a little bit last night. And it really saved my life writing that book because I don't like using the word channeled. I think channeled is really overused. I was really into channeling in the 80s because everybody was essentially Ramtha and Jane Roberts and, you know, all of that. Bartholomew. It was like, I had this image though of getting all of the Archangel Michael channels in a room along with all of the Saint Germain channels and just letting them duke it out, right? I don't know, it'd be like a lip sync war. I don't know what that would be. But I always thought that would kind of be fun. Like just duke it out in a stadium or something. But there are many graces that I work with. Actually, in the prayer last night, I worked so many of them in, and I probably will again today, because what you guys don't see before I hit record is I just got done watching a documentary on the Amazon shamans of Ecuador. Well, there you go. You're using your time well. Oh, ayahuasca. There are people who want me to go do ayahuasca. I'm like, please, I'm a visionary as it is. It's all I need. I would come back weirder than I already am. And can we afford that? I don't think I can afford that. I don't know if I got purple hair. I look good, though. Thank you, Wim Hof, wherever you are. Anyway, so these graces really are lifesavers for me. Particularly, I thought the grace of healing, which we talked a lot about last night and actually enacted in the prayer and in the meditation. The grace of protection is sort of a different animal in this sense. The grace of protection is about the throat chakra, right? So it's very much about willpower, right? Every chakra has its own flavor of power, right? Well, we start in the root chakra, it's physical power, right? First chakra. Second chakra, the sacrum, is interrelational power, if you think like the umbilical cord, right? So your relationship to money, to sex, to power, to another person, right? Solar plexus, personal power, right? Self-esteem, self-respect, self-love, which we tend to place up here, but you kind of get that, kind of loving who you are in the moment, knowing that things will change and you'll keep growing. Emotional power, makes sense. Willpower, the power of choice, mental power, and spiritual power. Okay, sorry, I don't know what that was. Something just popped up on my screen. I thought it was something to do with this. It wasn't. Where was I? Oh, right. So the throat chakra, willpower, right? The ability to choose, like what's in your will and testament, your final will and testament, your final choices, your final decisions. So I've broken it down into 3 phases of the throat chakra. And of course, this has a little tongue-in-cheek humor in it, but spit, swallow, and chew, right? Because sometimes you're just supposed to spit it out, right? It's like, particularly as a reader, right? It's a form of intuition. It's like, do I say this? Is this too harsh, right? Do I swallow it? And sometimes you are supposed to swallow it, right? You're supposed to say, this is not the right time or the right place, particularly if you are being overpowered powered by an emotion, right? Particularly anger, frustration, irritation, that kind of stuff. To just swallow it and process it for later. But then again, there's that third option of chew. That when something wants to fly out of your mouth like razor blades, right? It's like, oh, jagged little pill, thank you. Alanis Morissette spirit guides, what was that? To kind of like chew that up a little bit, like to soften the edges, to make it a bit, maybe not more palatable, but perhaps more diplomatic or compassionate. Well, this is right where the grace of counsel sits, right, in the throat chakra, which we could talk about, but its companion grace is the grace of protection, particularly when it comes to boundaries. Now, we're dealing with all sorts of boundaries now. Certainly self-isolation, right? Self-quarantine, right? We're all in our homes, right? Those people who do have to go out, they're using their, I actually found a bottle of hand sanitizer from when I moved here, and it smells like Chambord, the liqueur. It's very nice. I think my mom probably gave it to me. It looks like she picked it up at a hotel somewhere. But to, call forth your boundaries, to set your boundaries clearly and cleanly. The grace of protection certainly has an energetic field to it, but it's something that we do in prayer all the time. We don't even realize we're doing it. For example, when somebody's visiting our home, before all this stuff that's going on now, and they're getting ready to leave, they're putting on their coat and stuff, and you say, get home safe. That's the grace of protection. You don't even realize you're giving them a prayer, right? A blessing of sort. So the couple of things I want to say about that before we go into a bit more of a formal prayer, meditation, visualization, whatever, is to get that we really are souls, that were chosen to be in these bodies with the names that we have. Matt KAHN, brilliant teacher that he is, presented a concept I had never even thought of before. I had known about reincarnation for a very long time. I've been doing past life regressions for myself for decades. But he mentioned something called meta-incarnation. It's so meta. Where you actually incarnate into the same life over and over and over again to replay it and make different choices, very much like a video game. And I've had that thing of this world being a virtual reality, not an actual reality. Like our true reality is unity, oneness, the great light, the supreme being, whatever you want to call it. And so as individual souls, which in the singularity, even that isn't the ultimate truth, that we're individual. Even the word individual means not dividable, by the way, if you pick the word apart. Sorry, I'm trying to read here. I started letting out a little anger and got a divine bonk on the head, which is new. Yeah. So it's not just about choosing your words, the grace of protection, but that thing of meta-incarnation coming in over and over and over again. You get to choose yet again, which is very Course in Miracles. Choose yet again. Decide for me, Holy Spirit. Now, people freak out when they hear the word Holy Spirit. It's practically on every page in the Course in Miracles. But I've learned that the Holy Spirit is the collective of all the higher selves. Notice the initials, HS, like high school, but not as horrible, not as terrifying, not as ridiculous. High school, higher self. So when you get that you are the higher self that has projected its consciousness, its awareness into this body, into a soul in this body to play a role, that you forget that you're acting like the best actors do. What makes De Niro so amazing, right? Or Pacino. I always go for those because those are the ones that I think people really acknowledge as brilliant actors. But name your Meryl Streep, right? They forget they're acting. They really become the character. Well, hi, Marilyn. I think it's really, really wise to kind of get that everything here is scripted in the quantum field. And if you study even just tangentially quantum physics, at least quantum theory, you kind of get the theory, at least, that every outcome is already played out here. Sort of like when you're watching, DVDs. Do they still exist now? Everything's streaming. But remember a DVD, you would get a movie, like the movie Clue, and it had those 3 different endings to it that were already filmed, already in the can, as it were. But as you watch it linearly, you get a story, and you watch the characters change and grow and develop. Well, essentially, that's what the divine plan is the near infinite amount of probabilities are already filmed, they're already in the can, and our souls, like a video game, just like a video game, a single shooter player, right, looking through our own eyes, moving through it, making choices. And again, this is quantum theory, every time we turn left, another version of us goes forward or goes right. Oh, I totally did that backwards. I'm not dyslexic, but I just went left. Well, I guess to you that's left, whatever. What's left? So this thing of the grace of protection is all about our choices, that the best we can do, a couple of things actually. Number one is get that ultimately we can't get it wrong. Just try that for a second. No matter what happens, I can't get this wrong. Oh, talk about having faith in something. That the universe has a plan, I can't screw it up, and I can't ultimately get it wrong. It may look like I've made mistakes. It may look like I make the wrong choice. But haven't we noticed that further down the line, the things that we think of as mistakes benefited us, made us grow? I'll give you a perfect example. In the 80s, the Reagan administration, Nancy Reagan had this campaign called Just Say No. I said no. I was like, no. You bet I said no. I did every drug I could get my hands on, except injectables. I've never been into needles. Nope, nothing intravenous. Thank you very much. Probably saved my life long term with HIV, AIDS, and all of that. I'm still HIV negative. Such a fucking miracle, but I'm here. Safe sex. Safe sex and, I don't know, high vibration. I don't know, choices, right? It's like, yeah, perfect example, safe sex. What are your boundaries, right? So if we really can't get it wrong in the quantum sense, and yet we can carry so much guilt for things that we've done in the past. Mushrooms, oh God, that is very, very much the last thing I ever want to do as a hallucinogenic. God, I'm really afraid I would I don't know, either pop into unity consciousness so permanently that I wouldn't be able to talk, or I don't know, just it's not my scene anymore. But I know that because I did those drugs then, the 80s, I did so much coke in the 80s, and I was young. I think the last time I did coke was in 1989. I left it in the 80s. But just say no. But you sort of get the idea, right? It's like, thank God I did that then, got it out of the way. Was it a mistake if it gave me wisdom? Because ultimately what we're trying to learn in this life, to awaken our souls in this body, is, catch this, how to make lovingly wise, powerful decisions, right? Love, wisdom, and power, the threefold flame of the heart. Because to be, let's do it this way, to be lovingly wise without powerful is that sort of bland new age, well, if it's meant to happen, it'll come. That may be loving, that may be wise, but it's not very powerful. Lovingly powerful without wisdom, stalker, right? Over emotional, too much power, no ability to make wise choices there. To be wise and powerful without love, I think we see that played out on the planet everywhere, every day, it seems, right? The choices that are being made everywhere, it seems, as this paradigm is falling apart, as you sort of get the idea. So we are all in this game learning, right? We're learning how to make wise, loving, powerful choices. And one of the ways that we do that is particularly when alerts happen, right? When the adrenaline hits, when we go into the limbic brain, the reptilian brain, the fight or flight thing, right? The brain, I wish people understood, fear kind of shuts down parts of the brain temporarily because it goes into survival mode. Something Eckhart Tolle said in, I think, A Return to Now. When you're in the present moment and kind of aware of your breath and watching your thoughts, those thoughts don't necessarily trigger you the same way, because we have cellular memories of living in the wild, right? Where if we heard a crunch, right? What was it? Is an animal going to get us? Is it another tribe, headhunters, you know? So we still carry that with us. So then when we get an alert, I mean, the body shoots out cortisol through our system and adrenaline, and we get all very fight or flight. And so we literally can't make clear, wise decisions, which is why meditation is sort of the remedy for that, or at least mindfulness. So getting back to the grace of protection, and I'll do a version of the prayer. I don't just have one version of any prayer. I honestly, I'm verbal, but memory kind of sucks for stuff, and I'm not very ritualistic anymore as I get older. To me, it feels better to just be authentic. I don't think the gods care what you're saying. It's just that you're saying, and they get intention anyway. They can feel what you're saying. But the grace of protection really is guide my choices. May I make wise, lovingly, powerful decisions today. And of course, if that involves hand sanitizer, it does. If that involves keeping your distance from people, it does. But if you go only with the mind, right, only from the third eye, well, maybe including the throat in terms of the ears, right, like what you hear and what you see and what you're getting from the media, without tuning in to your survival intuition, which is usually in the lower 3 chakras, you see what I'm saying? To integrate all of that information instantly does take practice, but that's what meditation, that's what prayer, that's what focus, that's what spiritual exercises are for, to help us tap into our energy field holistically, beautiful word, so that we can live wisely and well, to be more open-hearted and more loving. Because I think we've seen what happens when the divine masculine mind ignores the divine feminine heart. You're soaking in it, right? But I think we've also had moments where we have let the divine feminine heart overrule completely and silence the divine masculine mind. Wrath is the deadly sin of the heart chakra, and we become wrathful when our emotional pain takes over, which is why we have this huge opportunity in not just my personal experience, but my guides have been really saying this is one of the best things that could happen to the immune system of humanity. Obviously, not the infection part of it, but that we have this opportunity to feel what we're feeling in a way that is contained. The book by Carolyn Mace, Entering the Castle, based on the work of Saint Teresa of Avila. I told you I'm an eclectic. I will beg, borrow, and steal truth wherever I can find it. We have ancestral and cellular triggers, absolutely. Like even when my boys, because you know I love my kitty cats, I love them, they're so sweet. But when they go and start growling at each other, it's like the hair stands up on my arms. It's just like, whoa, Nelly, calm down. But to allow ourselves to, and I'm going to borrow this from Matt KAHN, love what rises, right? What an opportunity we have that if we're going to engage with media, watch the news, right? Check the ticker tape of how many people have died now, to really allow it to trigger us and allow ourselves the grace of protection to feel what we're feeling behind the castle wall of the soul. Now, Saint Teresa of Avila, I mean, I actually have the audiobook of, oh God, what was the name of her book? The Work of the Castle of the Soul, which is very tongue-in-cheek, considering she was a woman in the 14th century, a Carmelite nun. And if you ever get the chance to read it, see if you can catch her little winks here and there, because she was a very powerful woman, but was in a totally patriarchal system. So she had to like couch everything, but who am I? I'm just a woman. I'm sure the abbots and then the priests understand this far better than I do. You can totally hear the wink in her voice. I love her. But she saw the soul as a castle carved of a single diamond and housing 7 mansions. Now, chances are she did not have access to the Sanskrit word chakra, right? Or that idea, but certainly that's something that you can incorporate in your meditation. And maybe we'll do a little bit of that today. We will go into the 5th mansion, the turquoise blue one, and bathe a bit in the water and the air of the grace of protection, not just for ourselves, but to send it out so that everyone can be protected through their own choices. Keeping in mind that ultimately we can't get it wrong, and that there are other quantum versions of ourselves that will make those other decisions. My guides have made it pretty clear of all of the marks that were born, I'm one of like maybe 5 or 10 left. I think that's true for a lot of us, right? That where we really, that's why I try and live my life as intuitively as I can, to feel it out, not just go purely on intellect. I was raised by intellectuals. Well, this is what we do. This is the right thing to do. And I understand that's playing out big time. Sanitize your hands and shake with your elbow, all that stuff. But as spiritually awakened beings, we have to look at this holographically to understand that to go forth without love and compassion in our hearts is not wise or powerful. Cool. So let's do a little meditation, a little prayer. I will keep my eyes open. You don't have to. If you want to, you go right ahead. But it might be easier for you just to get the initial image, and then we will go deeper. Cool. By the way, if anybody wants to, send me some cash, you go right ahead. I'll make sure you have fun. Well, I'll have fun. We're doing this in order to help heal ourselves, each other, and the world. So here we go. Take a nice deep breath. Take a couple, actually. Allow your body to relax. Scan your body, right? Start with the physical. Like, start at the top of your head and just tell your scalp to relax, and notice it does. Your ears to drop. Yawn. Neck roll. Shoulder shrugs. Check your rib cage. Give it a little movement, right? Flex and tense and release the spine. Stretch your arms. Just get that body in a place where it can chill for a little bit. This won't be like an hour. This is going to be maybe 5-10 minutes. Clench your butt muscles. Tense and release. Let them go. Your legs, your feet, your toes, your fingers. Because then you can really allow the breath to flow in and out just like the ocean. So let's do a little breath work here. In and out through the mouth, through the nose, whatever works. But I'll make it sound like ocean waves for you. Ready? Here we go. And as you continue to breathe, I'll bring us a little bit deeper as you relax, as you turn your senses inward, my voice being a gentle guide. Imagine on the horizon, you're kind of out in nature, but you see out on the horizon a castle shining in the sunlight, almost too bright to look at, refracting rainbows. And as you draw closer to it, you see that it is the castle of your soul. The drawbridge raised, surrounded by a moat of water, impossible to cross without that drawbridge. It is moving clockwise at a fast pace. And this is the castle of the soul. And in a moment, we will ask for the drawbridge to be lowered that we may enter the castle of the soul and engage with the fifth mansion, wherein lies the grace of counsel and the grace of protection. So we ask that the drawbridge now be lowered by our higher self. We watch it lower and extend, crossing the moat, landing right at our feet. And together we enter our own souls. We cross the bridge into the silent bliss of our castle. Once inside, we raise the drawbridge behind us, forbidding all outside influence from entering this holy place that is our soul. Here in my castle, I am alone with my angels, my guides, my masters, my gods, my teachers, and my higher selves, fifth dimensional and above. Under their light and companionship, I discover and embrace the depth, the beauty, the love, the wisdom, and the power of my soul. Here, in the center of my castle, I embrace the powers of prayer and meditation. Here, in the central courtyard, are my pantheons surrounding me, and I open myself to their guidance and grace. Here, in the center of my soul, I surrender who I believe myself to be, and open myself to be a channel of love, of healing, of power, of wisdom, of grace for my higher good and for the well-being of all. Breathe here. Be here. That light streaming in from all directions, filtering through the diamond walls of this castle, 10 feet thick, 100 feet wide in every direction. We see around us now the 7 mansions. For me, always in a semicircle from red to violet, with the central courtyard being white, the white of the 8th chakra, the upper room, the castle itself. That place where soul and spirit intersect. And we look at the red mansion, the root chakra, the tribal power, and we can see our own roots. We can see our own connections to the tribe, what we're pulling in through the physical world vibrationally, our ancestral cellular memories and patterns stored in basements and in closets and in rooms throughout that mansion. The 2nd mansion, orange for me, storing all of the memories, patterns, lessons learned and unlearned from our one-on-one relationships, our sexuality, our creativity, our addictions, our tugs of war with people and things. The 3rd mansion, yellow, the solar plexus, the mansion of self-empowerment, self-esteem, survival, intuition, and the survival of the personality. Our gut guidance in the solar plexus, storing the hall of our honor code, constantly shifting and changing as our personal boundaries do psychologically. The 4th mansion, the emerald green of the heart chakra, where the emerald flame of divine love, power, and wisdom exists, the threefold flame of the heart. Oh, just to bask in its light without even entering is what draws me again and again and again to the mystic path, the love of God as noun and verb. And then we turn 1 slight degree more to the turquoise mansion, the throat chakra. And we move toward it now. We enter into its smooth, cool entrance halls. Air circulating, warm and clear. And we seek the center of this mansion, where for me there is an atrium, light streaming in from above, reflecting off the turquoise cool blue of the marble, of the stones, the turquoise, the celestites. And here in this atrium, we can strip ourselves down. For herein lies the greatest counsel, like counseling. the collective wisdom of our soul in every lifetime, past, present, and future. And with it, the companion grace of protection that we now breathe in like blue sky, allowing it to move through our energy fields, protecting every cell, saturating our energy bodies, our mental bodies, our emotional bodies, our perceptual bodies, and our physical bodies with its grace. And to this I add this prayer: dearest God, Goddess, all that is, please saturate us with the grace of protection that we may choose wisely, lovingly, and powerfully, moment to moment, that we may be channels of this grace of protection for ourselves, for our bodies, for our minds, for our hearts, for our wills, and that we may bring it out into the world, surrounding our homes now in this majestic light, asking now for the Archangel Michael to add his flame, the flame of truth, that we may be illuminated, for light is truth. Enlightenment is in truthment. Archangel Michael, take us by the hand if necessary and walk us through these days, these weeks, these lives that seem so perilous, that we may see through illusion like your sword cutting through cobwebs, that we may be freed from the ties that bind us, that we may break chains of illusion and set all things to right, to reveal what has been hidden and bring the truth to light. May this grace of protection now be extended to our loved ones as we breathe them in and bless them outwardly with the grace of protection. May the grace of protection keep all of my friends, family, fur babies out of harm's way, insulated, if not isolated, with all that they need, that their sense of safety be encouraged while their boundaries are strengthened, their immune system strengthened, their hearts, their minds, their choices of wisdom more obviously clear to them. As we embrace them in this turquoise blue, sapphire tinted light, the truth of Archangel Michael, coursing through us like blue starlight, the hottest blue-white flame, burning away that which does not serve in our energy fields, making us walking castles of the soul wherever we go. May we be surrounded by castle walls of the soul at all times moving forward, drawing up that drawbridge when necessary and lowering it when necessary to let people into our hearts and our souls through compassion, knowing that the immune system of our soul will keep us clear. And that if something makes it over the castle wall, we didn't do anything wrong. It's just part of the divine plan, that we may eventually surrender to the cosmic truth that everything is happening for us, for our growth, for our ultimate healing of our soul, for the maturation of our soul, for the maturation of our personality, that this world may remove the excess marble from the divine creations we came in to be, that we may shine radiantly in the truth of who we are, authentically. No need to lie, no need to deceive, no need to pretend, no need to hide. Not now, when the world needs our light and our authenticity more than ever. Let this pandemic, if anything, trigger within each and every living human being incarnate the desire to be honest and authentic, open-hearted but wisely so, open-minded but wisely so, that the child of our heart may feel safe, safe to be vulnerable, safe to be open-hearted, safe to be loving, safe to heal, safe to love what rises within us, whether it be panic, because that's in the collective. And in a pressure cooker, the pressure releases through the valves. And if that's what we came in to do, then so be it. In our times of isolation, in our solitary time, may we fulfill our function through the breath as we now breathe. Blessed be our breath, that it be a vehicle of the grace of protection. Blessed be our breath, that it may fill this world with this grace of wisdom. Blessed be this world, that it may be a vessel, a channel, a chalice of divine truth, banishing shadow, because shadow is but the absence of light, alchemizing our own lead to gold, our own fear to love, our own limitations into power, that we may live wisely and well, in alignment with our soul's highest truth and wisdom for the well-being of all, that we may be open portals, that we may be safe space, protected space, that even when people are frustrated and we're feeling their frustration, we send them grace, even silently, even through the TV or our cell phones or our tablets or laptops, to bless, to be what we came here to be, the hidden children of the gods now revealed, inheriting all of their power, all of their wisdom, and all of their love incrementally, setting the collective nervous system on fire for the well-being of all, in light, in truth, in love, in power, and in wisdom. And so it is. Just bask and breathe. As we allow this grace of protection to make room for the grace of healing in the heart chakra, that emerald green light, as we now gently walk from this mansion of turquoise blue to the central courtyard, as the doors and windows of the fourth mansion now fly open, the emerald green heart chakra fire healing us as we breathe that in. Hands on hearts, dearest God, Goddess, all that is, flood us with the grace of healing, that we may be healed physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, etherically, causal bodies, cause, core, record, memory. May this emerald flame of divine healing grace amplify and continue to amplify the maximum that cosmic law will allow, that we can handle, perpetually expanding outwards with every breath, breathing fire, breathing grace, breathing healing for the well-being of all. And once again, we see in our hearts planet Earth, in the dimension of oneness. May Mother Earth receive all that she gives us as we now breathe the emerald fire into her. In the dimension of oneness, may Mother Earth be given all that she has given us. As she re-energizes our heart, may our heart replenish her. May we all be raised in the vibration, for love is divine power, and really the only thing that is ever healed, for it is the love of the divine, the love we truly are made manifest. And so it is. Thank you, my pantheons. And thank you to all who are watching and listening here and now for participating in this activity of love, power, and wisdom for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And now we turn and we see the drawbridge raised, and we ask that it be lowered, that we may re-enter the third and fourth dimensions of physical human experience. And as we exit the castle, putting our foot upon the drawbridge, may grace surround us, and may grace protect us. May grace heal us as we set forth a different type of contagion here. A contagion of grace, a wave of blessing, touching every man, woman, child, living, breathing organism, every plant, every blade of grass, every ecosystem. All in unity consciousness for the well-being of all. As we set foot off now, the drawbridge, we ask that the bridge be lifted. And we bless this castle, that we may return at any time, even if we don't know the prayer. It is our home. May we return to it often. So mote it be. Breathe. Thank you, Victoria. I love the Elsa. You know, Madeline KAHN is one of my spirit guides, and that's looking very Madeline KAHN, young Frankenstein right about now. I love her so much. Oh, you men are all alike, 7 or 8 quick ones, and it's off with the boys to boast and brag. You keep your mouth shut, mister. I think I love him. I might very well be a Madeline KAHN channel. I guess Matt KAHN's got the Matt KAHN channel covered. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope that helped. And I hope anybody who's watching this in playback really does benefit as well. You know, there will be a comment section once we sign off. So if you did not comment here, please feel free to do so. Thank you to all, any and all, because I wasn't watching the whole time, of anybody who donated. And if you would like to donate, I will put my PayPal me link in the description box. Yeah, in the description box below. If you'd like to send me a little this on the side, I greatly appreciate it. Remember, this is what I do for a living, and I'm not doing it for the money. If I was doing this for the money, I wouldn't be doing it. But I do it because it's what I'm good at. And maybe in this time of isolation, we can come a little bit closer to what it is that we are really good at, what we came here to do. And sometimes it's not so much a career thing or a skill as much as it is the spiritual work that we do behind Castle Wall. Cool, cool. I love you all so very much. May you be blessed. May you be blessed with all that you need. And I will be back here at 11-ish p.m. tonight. And we'll see what the divine wants to do through me then. Cool, cool. Thank you so much. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed of the day. And you know how I end this. Say it with me. Ready? Hail, farewell, and blessed be.